What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining in for today's Friday recap, last day of trading for the week, and I'm thankful to say that I'm green for the day. And and then ending the week on a green note. I only took one trade. I only traded one stock. I took more than one trade. But let's have a look at these trades and we'll quickly go through them. So today I'm ending the day on $18.73 in the green. I'm grateful for that. I cannot complain. And today we were looking at AGMH. So it's a Chinese stock. It had news after hours. So you can see that started popping up at around 4:30. Made this huge move from 223 all the way up to 626 and sold off slightly and then did a big dump this morning at 4 o'clock. But since then, it's been able to rally upwards and break its previous day's high and reach a high of $8.67. So today's trade was okay. I think I could have perhaps captured a bit more, but all in all, I'm happy with the results. Some things that you'll notice is that I was very impressed by the trend lines that I drew because they actually worked in my favor. So initially when I was looking at this stock this morning, I realized that there's a bit of a trend here. So I draw this trend line. And when I try to capture some of the moves in this area and this area, by the way, this is a 5-minute chart, I was able to anticipate perhaps the rejection, especially with this first one, where I was able to sell for a small profit and then wait for the next leg up. So let's have a look at the 1-minute chart very quickly. So the areas that so that's the same trend line from the 5-minute chart on the 1 minute. You can see the number of times that we've tried to break above this and failed. And I took my first initial trade in this area, which then I sold into this move. So I knew, so I guess that was a good anticipation. You can say that that worked in my favor. And then I sort of waited and then again traded this move here. So all in all, good. But of course, when you look at a grand picture, you can look at the overall move itself. You're like, well, you haven't really captured much. And realistically, I only captured 30, 40 cents in comparison to like $2. And I suppose on hindsight, it's always easy to sit here and say, well, look what it could have done. So, but if you look at yourself in my shoes, when I was looking at this stock as it was trading up and as I took my position entry in this area here, this move and it bouncing off this trend line resistance level was quite valid. I obviously did not anticipate that it would make such a huge move, so I started selling into this move and then sort of took my profits and was out of the trade altogether. And as you can see, these are top and tail candles. They're not necessarily the most bullish candles, and especially given the red volume bars down here. And how much was that? That was 300,000 volume there, and then 350 on the green candle. So you just have to wait and see what happens next. And of course, the moves that followed were quite up and down. So you can see they're not necessarily bullish. Yes, we're breaking new highs. We broke through this resistance level a couple of times, came back and broke above it again. Then I think from this point onwards, we could probably say from this candle onwards, we had probably more opportunities. But at this point, I was a bit more hands off. I did take one more trade further up around this area, I believe, but I really didn't push it anymore because I felt like parts of the move where this area especially was back of the move. So you're sort of hands off, and we're looking at what from 6:54 all the way to 7. So about 5 minutes candle there or 10 minutes candle there altogether. And then I suppose the next leg up was where I should have really been focusing on. So I did take a trade here in this region here, but again, I didn't anticipate this massive pop. That was amazing. So it's good to see some action Friday, but I'm happy with where I am with it in terms of my trading for the day. I definitely could have captured more, but it's something that I will be reflecting on over the weekend and having a look at these trades and understanding where I could have perhaps done a bit more. So good learning altogether. And again, the news on it was, I had time to look into it further because obviously the news was released yesterday after hours. So I had time this morning to analyze it a bit more. And when I did, it sort of gave me the impression that you could interpret it in one or two ways. It could either be a positive or it could be a negative. But in any case, it looks like the sentiment is quite positive and it's holding up. But it'll be interesting to see what it does as it goes into the open. And yeah, I'll be monitoring it. I don't think I'll be taking any more trades because the last thing you want to do really at this point, especially on a Friday, is to have gained, give back your gains, especially on something where you're like, well, I've been waiting, maybe I'm doing it out of boredom, so I'm not going to take a stab at it, let's say. So if I do jump in, which I doubt I will, it will have to give me a high degree of confidence that's going to work. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed this quick recap, and thank you again for subscribing, leaving a comment or liking. I appreciate it. All of that really helps. And stay green, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a nice rest of the weekend.